All right. What's up, guys? Apple Monster here. How you guys doing today? Welcome. Let me just. What's up, guys? Thought I had that muted. Whoopsie. How you guys doing today? What's going on? So, yeah. As you guys saw in the thumbnail, Oneplus event was a thing, and I have some thoughts. But first, without further ado, what's up, Miles? What's up, man? It's Max Digital. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. If any of you guys want to join the stream, let me know and I'll send you guys the link. That way you guys can join and chat with me on what you guys thought of this event, if you guys saw it, and or what you guys thought of the products that were released during the event. I would really, um, want to know what you guys think. So let's have a conversation about it. It's Max Digital wants the link. Okay, I will send that to you via Twitter if that's okay. I don't have access to my Instagram right now, so I'll send it via Twitter. Paste. Boom. All right, you should be receiving it now in your Twitter DMs. I just sent it over. So, yeah, so like I said, that was a thing, and I mean, I gotta say, it wasn't that bad, in my opinion. The transitions were like beautiful. I do have to admit, I did like the transitions a little bit. Um, the phones itself, like I love the colors. Honestly, listen, I'm not trying to say that I'm, any kind of fan or anything, but yeah, I am. um, I just love the one thing that I really, really hope that Apple does, and you know what? If Max Digital is going to join me, I'm going to put my headphones on. All right. Cool. Hopefully these will start working in a second. Yep. Good. Um, but I did like the colors. I did like how the cameras worked. They did a really good job on that. I got to tell you guys, like, amazing. All right, so we got a guest here today. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Nice to be here.
How are
Doing all right, just trying to let all the news, every day and it's just mind-boggling.
you? Oh, I know, man. I know. So, what did you think of the OnePlus event and what they released?
Well, it was very underwhelming. OnePlus, I mean, it was a very long announcement. They talked about for like at least for half an hour. They talked about just of the branding of the camera. That's pretty much it. They waited until the very end to give any type of specs, and
Yep.
it was very underwhelming.
Yep. I honestly thought they
What do you
I honest
think?
I think the same thing. I honestly thought that they gave way too much hype to that branding of the camera, like how it has that stamp on the bottom of the pictures, and it was just like, for what, man? For what? So are we good? Are you there?
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting for you to finish talking. And
Uh,
there's always like an overlap with these
oh,
streams and stuff. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, the if you compare the OnePlus Pro compared to the old one, the 8 Pro, there wasn't much difference. You know, you get a gradual little upgrade on the specs, but nothing groundbreaking. And now these OnePlus phones, they cost $1,000. So they're not cheap anymore.
No, nothing is. Nothing is. I mean, um, the way I look at it, all phones, and I've said this before, all phones are going to be the same thing. It's going to cost the same, do the same thing. One thing that I was saying that caught my eye a little bit was the cameras and how they worked. The whole night mode with the video. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, I'm sure
Um,
that they're going to be decent cameras, but the way that they hype it up, I don't think it's going to be, way different and way better than like the Galaxies and iPhones and stuff. They're just going to be always. I think there was already a review out there from one of the websites. I think it was Tech Radar, or some of them. They already blasted the camera. They said, or no, I think it was The Verge. The Verge was the one that did it. And yeah, the camera samples, they don't look that much different. Me personally, as long as the camera's okay, I don't mind because honestly, most people aren't photographers, so they're not going to be taking advantage of all the pro modes anyways. But I think
yep.
it's no one's going to compete with the Samsung Galaxies on the
Mm-mm.
Android side, and then those are always compared to the iPhones. It's going to be hard to compete in the camera space, man. It's especially for those prices. You gotta be the best.
Yeah. And speaking about like the iPhones and everything, let me ask you, what do you think is going to be new with the cameras and stuff like that? What do you think that they're going to bring out for the iPhone 13 lineup? Seeing how everything worked on the OnePlus and everything.
All right, so I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or if it's my LTE connection, but I switched off the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see you better now.
All right, cool.
So I don't know if you caught my question, but what do you think it the future holds for Apple now that there's new stuff with OnePlus and everything?
And nothing's ever gonna make Apple do anything different. Maybe Samsung, but Apple's not afraid about anybody right now, and they haven't been for a while. OnePlus, I mean, I like their cheaper phones, like the 5G N10, which is like $300, where you can get it free on Metro. But other than that, I mean, I think they're very terrible pricing when it comes to $700 to $1,000 phones. Just because, man, they're not. I mean, they're not better than Samsung's, and that's what they're trying to compete against. And Apple's
Yep.
main competition is Samsung. So if they can't even
Right.
compete with Samsung, they're not going to compete with Apple. But I think that Apple makes the best videos or cameras to take video. Honestly, to me, I care more about the video part of a smartphone and how it is instead of the pictures. And I've
Yeah.
seen that Android, you got to spend a lot of money to get a quality, decent video out of Android. Pictures are okay. Any phone from Android could take a good picture, but when it comes to video, they're always shaky. They're always they're never just quality, just like Apple. Apple's always got the
Yep.
best. Even the cheap iPhones have good video on them.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I would honestly, and I don't know if you're gonna agree or not, but I would honestly like to see video night mode on the iPhone.
Oh well,
You
yeah, I'm
know?
sure they're gonna get there. I mean, they kind of have it with the pictures right now, but that's one thing I always kind of liked about and appreciated about Apple's iPhones is that they always had a better, even in a dark room or something, you could always see it more clearly than an Android phone. And maybe that's because last time I really like use an Android phone for the most part, the dark mode or being in a dark room really sucked. But I'm sure Apple's always gonna every year they're gonna get their cameras always get better. So that's gonna come no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For sure. For sure. I mean, I asked a friend of mine what he thought, and I mean, I gotta admit, um, even last year's 8 Pro was a little bit better than this,
Well, I think
in my
if I'm
opinion.
not mistaken, I don't know if it costs the same price as $1,000, but man, if you wanted to spend $1,000 on the phone, I mean, you could get a iPhone 12 Pro Max for around that same price if you get it used, even slightly
Facts.
used. Why not? I mean, I don't know why anybody would spend more than
Facts.
close to $1,000 on an Android phone, unless for whatever reason you just hate the Apple software or something like that. But other than that, I don't know why you would spend $1,000 because in 1 year, your that phone that you bought for $1,000, let's say the OnePlus 9 Pro, you bought it for like $1,100. Next year, if you want to sell it, you're only going to be selling for like $500. So you're not going to get your value back.
Right. Right.
And
Exactly.
and then by then, all these other smartphones are going to come out. So like the Galaxy Note, maybe come out. Samsung said they might not release one. So it's like by then it's going to be so many new phones out there. It's probably not going to be worth it.
Yep. Exactly. What do you think of the smartwatch that they came out with?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's not using Wear OS, so it's not using Google's own software. It's using
Mm-hmm.
OnePlus's own like private, what do they call it? Their own thing, and I'm sure it's going to be fine. It's going to track your fitness. It's going to give you notifications. The price is a little wonky to me because I think it was $160 for that
Yep.
price. You can get you can get some other. If you have an iPhone, obviously I would have suggested getting the Apple Watch. But for $160, I think there's a lot of other options out there. It's not really groundbreaking. They say that
Oh, for sure.
you get 2 weeks of battery life, but I'm sure that's with like a lot of the sensors turned off.
Right. Right. I mean, they pretty much said the same thing when it came to the Apple Watch. Of, oh, it's gonna easily last you like almost a week.
No,
And
they never said that the Apple Watch was gonna last a week. The Apple Watch always
well,
lasted like
well,
like one day.
yeah, but no, but you always heard those rumors that it would last you this amount of time, and it never does. You know what I mean?
Well, the Apple Watch is always ever since the first model. It's always been like 18 hours. That's the
Right.
most. I mean,
Oh
unless you
yeah,
put it,
yeah.
unless you turn it off into airplane mode or something, or into that time saving mode, it never lasted more than a day. That's the only downfall of the Apple
Oh
Watch.
yeah.
So, going back
And
to
and
the
and
go ahead.
that's my point too. Like you just said, unless you turn off some of the settings, it's never gonna last you that long.
I mean, I'm fine with a couple of days. Even if it was like 3 or 4 days of use, that's fine for me. I don't need it to last
Oh
that
yeah.
long. But for $160, you can get an Apple Watch, maybe third generation, for around the same price, and it'll do way more things than this one. But for me, all I need the watch to do is to give me some notifications. I'm not too into the fitness part of it, but a lot of people are. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe some people will be interested. This isn't going to be a big seller. I don't think so.
Oh no, no. And I'm sorry to that one or two people that I know that have OnePlus and love it, but yeah, sorry, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, you know what? OnePlus, I mean, it's actually pretty good because it has stock Android and it has a few things going for it. But man, the prices on the high, they got two segments. They got the low end, which is awesome, but then they got the high end that's trying to compete above its weight, and that's not good for the price.
Right.
I would love for OnePlus to stick to the mid $500 and below because that's where they could make really quality devices. You can't compete
Oh,
with
for sure,
Samsung at that price because
for
LG is
sure.
out, HTC is out, Windows Phone. There's so many competitors out there that just bit the dust. Samsung's the only one that has the resources to compete.
Mm-hmm.
And Google, they're not even competing in that high price range anymore. Their phones are like $800 at the most now, so they're going back to their roots.
Yeah,
OnePlus
for
is
sure.
just too expensive.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely agreed. So, did you watch the event or did you just watch
I
like certain
watched
videos?
I watched no, I was watching it live, but it was one that it was they were talking about the camera with Hasselblad. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but basically their branding, the camera system is really good. Coming from these
Yeah.
Hasselblad cameras, and I never heard of them before. So when I looked up the Hasselblad cameras, they're like $5,000. So I don't think you're gonna get
Oh,
a
I know.
$5,000 camera in these phones. So they're just using the
Mm-hmm.
branding to hype up these phones. But like I said, and The Verge and other websites, some of them say they're really good, but they're nothing groundbreaking. Samsung will easily beat them in that category. So yeah, OnePlus, the cameras, that's what they stressed about. The other thing that OnePlus really pushed on these phones that actually sounded pretty good was that they could charge 100% in like half an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, it wasn't that bad, to be honest. Um, I was actually surprised when they said that, especially for the watch. To what do they say? Like
I think it was half an hour
20.
too. For 20 minutes, I think gave you like tons of battery.
Yeah, it was like 20 minutes for a week's worth or something.
Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I think a regular watch, like an Apple Watch or or Google Watch or something, I think it takes you like around 2 hours to fully charge. But I don't think a
Hmm.
lot of people let it die. So like people will start charging it from 50%. But that's pretty impressive. A 20 a week's worth of 20 minutes of charging, it's not bad.
Yeah. I was honestly, when I heard that, I was like, Apple, you want to learn something here?
Well, I'm sure
But
that would make the Apple Watch perfect if it could last more than like a day. If it would get at least 3 days of battery life, I think that would be suffice for most people. But
yeah,
it's never
yeah,
gonna
for
happen
sure.
because the reason that the Apple Watch doesn't get more battery life, honestly, is because this watch does too many things. The Apple Watch has
Right.
so many
Yeah.
sensors. You have so many apps. You could download apps. You listen. It does too much, and it can't run all those apps for more than a day. So
Right.
unless they make the battery
R-
super big and restrict some of the stuff, like I would be happy getting an Apple Watch that didn't have all the fitness features. Maybe if it was just a notification thing, or if they just that's pretty much all I care about is notifications. So if Apple could make the watch do less and increase the battery life, I would jump on that in a second.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Hmm. Which watch do you got? Which Apple Watch do you got?
I got the Series 4.
Okay, I mean that's still an awesome watch even by today's standards. I'm rocking the Series One, very old school, and it still does
Oh
the
damn,
same. It still does the same things, as the day I got it. So yeah, the Apple Watch, it hasn't changed battery life in forever.
bro, man, are you thinking of upgrading to a
Mm,
newer watch?
when this one dies, like completely like messes up, then I'll probably get like whatever the budget device is at the time. So probably like right now it's the iPhone SE, or the
Yep,
iPhone SE, the Apple Watch SE. I could
yep.
probably cop one of those. But I
Shit,
mean, while this one does what I needed to do, I'm gonna stick to this one.
because that one doesn't get any software updates anymore, right?
Nah. The newest one was what, 7? Yeah, this one is
Yeah,
already old, so it's not getting any
yeah.
more updates.
Damn, man. See, that's the thing for me. If it doesn't get software up, and I think I discussed this with you when we went Instagram live, unless it gets updates, it's not gonna be mine. That's just
For
the way
most
I roll.
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't suggest buying one of these for getting a old watch with old software for if you're gonna keep it for a long time. I mean, if you want it for just something just to wear, just for the meantime, or if you get it really, really cheap, then
Hmm.
yeah, I would rather get like something that's still being sold by Apple or supported.
Yeah, I keep telling my mom that I want to upgrade her watch because believe it or not, she has the very first one that came out. That was
Oh wow.
mine.
Hmm.
Because I had the very first one, and then I upgraded to this one, and she kept my old one. And I keep telling her, like, that watch is so old.
Yeah, but what did she do with
You
it
should get
though?
it. Do it. I'll just keep it on my Apple shelf. Have,
Yeah, but I mean,
have,
I bet you she uses it to, it still works for her. I bet she
oh, it
tells
still
the
works for
time.
her.
She gets
Oh yeah,
notifications.
for No, for sure, it still works. I mean, yeah, it's kind of slow and whatnot, but it still works. It still displays the notifications and whatnot.
For the
But
average
my
person that's not into tech, they'll be happy with it. But I'm sure your mom will eventually switch. That's when it finally breaks. She'll upgrade to something else.
oh, dude, it's already broken. Like if you take, she has a plastic um screen protector on it, but as soon as you take that off, the screen's gonna pop off.
Oh yeah, well when that happens,
Cause I, cause I was I had taken off that thing to clean it off for her, and just to wipe off some of the dust on the screen protector so she could see it better. And when I took that off, I saw that the screen was like coming halfway off. I'm like, really?
so you
This?
might as well just leave the
I'm
screen
like,
protector on instead of damaging it further.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, quickly wipe it off, put it back on. I'm like, I can't. Like, I didn't even tell her I saw that, but I'm like, I can't. you know.
Is
So
the watch is the one that well that one doesn't have cellular. That's the first one didn't have
no,
cellular.
she doesn't have it. And this is the thing, okay? My mom works third shift, and sometimes I'll call her before I go to bed to tell her something that I forgot to tell her before she left the house, and um, I'll call her, and she'll be like, "Oh, I was out of my office, and I had my phone in my office." If she had a watch that had Bluetooth, because she uses her AirPods pretty much all night. So if she
Hmm.
had a watch that had cellular connectivity, she would have still gotten the notification whether she had her phone or not. And that's my point. Like that's the only thing that I tell her that I wish she had. The rest
Well,
I understand. She doesn't need all these new technologies. I don't even use half of the stuff that came out in the software. But the only thing is for me is a cellular. You know.
well, if she wants to have her upgrade and she doesn't want to spend a ton of money, like I think the Series 3 is gonna be, the first one that had cellular, so you can get that one for
Yeah.
like $100.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But then again, well, for her it'd be fine because like I doubt she's gonna care about the software updates, and the Series 3 is still being sold today in Apple stores, so I'm sure that one's gonna get at least like 2 more years of updates. But
Oh yeah, because that's still getting updates. That's true.
yeah.
They
I
still haven't.
also have you used anything before you got your Apple Watch, or before you started using Apple Watch? Did you use any other like Fitbits or any other bands or
Nope.
anything like that?
Nope. And I actually waited a while before I got the Apple Watch. I saw um I saw the commercial of it. I saw it come out. I saw it on stage and everything. But then I waited a while. But then I kept seeing more and more people buying it, and I'm just like, dude, I need it. I mean, especially because I'm a heavy set person, and I wanted something to try to lose weight and stuff, and motivate me more. And a lot of people were saying, how it motivates them and whatnot, and like I was just like, you know what, I need something like
Well,
fast.
you're like
So
most you're like that's the audience that Apple is trying to get at because they turned the Apple Watch into a
yeah,
fitness device. So that's how they attract people and even though I'm not one of them, I'm mostly about the just notifications. I could see a lot of
right.
people motivating them with the Apple Watch. So yeah, that's definitely the target market for the Apple Watch.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, and that was me, and especially like I said, like there'll be days when I was working that I wanted to know the time. A couple of times I would like take out my phone, and my bosses would think I was looking at my phone, and I was
Mm.
just like simply looking at the time because I would literally take out my phone at the worst times. As soon as I take out my phone, my boss would walk by me. I'm like, seriously, nobody was around, and now you pop in? Like,
Yeah, no,
what
that's
the
that's
heck?
that's the cool thing about that about having some type of watch is that you can take a quick peek and it doesn't look like like you're wasting time or lollygagging. It looks like you're just checking the time.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Another thing is like for me, like you said, notifications. If I got a phone call, like I wouldn't be taking out my phone to see if it's important or not. I would just glance at my watch, and that was that. See who was calling,
Well, I mean,
and
I like it how it vibrates, and you can kind of tell what kind of notification it is, and it makes you
yeah,
use your phone less.
for sure.
I never really use it to talk on it. I think because mine's just so slow, it's like the quality of the speakerphone and stuff like that is not good. But I just love glancing, like I'm washing the dishes or something, and I glance at it. I could see if I could reject a call if it's not important or something.
Yeah,
So
for
yeah.
sure.
And you know what? That's another thing I don't know about the OnePlus watch. I doubt it has cellular connectivity, so this is going to be strictly Bluetooth. So at that price, you might as well get an Apple Watch, unless you're on Android. So then it's a whole
Yeah,
different thing.
yeah. And if you're on Android just for that, and you want a smartwatch, just go to Apple. It's so much better.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people end up switching from Android to Apple. I don't think it's the other way around. I doubt a lot of people switch from Apple to Android.
Oh, you'd be
Um,
surprised.
well, I mean,
they,
it's
they don't know.
it's
They don't know what's good. They don't know what's good. I had people who I had friends who had the iPhone, and then one switched to I think he has the OnePlus 7T, and another person has like the Samsung Galaxy S20, and they say they love it. They said they wouldn't switch back, and it's just like I don't understand why. But
I
again,
mean,
if you don't have the whole ecosystem, if you don't have a couple of those things, you're not gonna get the full experience, in my opinion. You know,
well, I
uh,
mean, it's either Android or Apple, and I think. Hey, what's up, Rockford? Uh,
what's up,
it's
Rockford?
it's. I mean, I don't know, man. I could roll both ways, but if I really had to choose, I'm gonna have to go with the iPhone just because of the Apple Watch and because of
Right.
I don't know,
Just
just more fluid. I mean, Android, I love the hardware. They have a lot of cool hardware stuff, but when you combine it with the software, I just have to pick Apple.
oh, definitely, definitely. What's up, Solange? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've
So,
always again, like I said, if you don't have some of the things in the ecosystem, you don't know how good it is. You know
well,
that's just my
especially if you use a lot of Google products, I mean, all the Google apps are going to be on the iPhone or on the iPad. So it's at the end of the day, the iPhone is actually a Google phone as well because it has all the same apps that you need
oh for
from
sure.
Google. Which phone?
Yeah,
Which is the last Android phone that you had?
bruh, you're standing up. You're probably gonna freaking fall. Honestly, the S3,
Wow, yeah, that was a long time ago, but that was a cool device
long
though
time ago.
because that's Samsung's heyday when they started jam packing their phones. Because I remember the first Galaxy wasn't that popular. It was the beginning. Then when the Galaxy S2 came out, that was the standard. That was like super awesome. So when the three came out, that one like they threw everything in the kitchen sink at it. So yeah, you jumped in when it was like super popular for
Yeah.
Samsung, but by today's standards, yeah, that was a long time ago, man.
Shout out to Nikias Molina for coming in. What's up, man?
What's
I've been
up, dude?
trying to reach you, man. Trying to reach you. You're not.
I'm pretty sure
you,
he's being
you,
sarcastic right there. So yeah, what is OnePlus?
You're hard to reach, man. You're hard to reach.
Is
DM me if you
Nicholas
have a chance.
is Nicholas the on YouTube where he does a lot of the Apple Watch, where it used to be the Apple Watch channel, or the
Yeah,
wrong
yeah,
one?
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I saw a lot of his videos, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nikias is pretty famous. Let me tell you, Nikias. Um, dude, if you have some time and you want to hop in, let me know, and we can talk about this.
I mean, the Apple Watch, I mean, there's nothing to compete with. If you're on an iPhone, that's the only watch that you should get. I mean, the only other situation where I see people not getting an Apple Watch, and I've been guilty of that for a little bit. I
Now,
got those $60 Galaxy bands, and those are good for notifications and alarms. But if you need something more than that, just get the Apple Watch or switch to Apple.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, listen, I'm not trying to pressure you or anything, man. I just really miss talking to you, and I really wanted to have you on one of my Saturday streams. So no pressure at all, dude. I know you have a lot a lot of stuff going on with your daily life and videos and stuff. So I completely understand. But yeah, it would be.
Which Apple Watch is Nicholas rocking right now at this moment? I'm sure he has the newest one.
Oh yeah, I think he has the Series 6.
No, he has the Apple Watch edition, the $10,000 one.
Uh, yeah, make a video. Gotta go make it. Oh crap! All right, Series. Oh, Series 6 Gold Steel.
Oh yeah, he's
Ooh.
balling with them Apple Watches, boy.
Damn, bruh. Damn.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna catch him with the basics.
Shoot, hell no. Yeah, Nikias, if you DM me and we can schedule sometime during the week for a hangout stream or something.
Hey,
That'll be
what phone are
fine,
you
man.
rocking, Nicholas? Are you rocking the big boy, the 12 Pro Max too? What color? What color is your phone, by the way?
I have the series not series, I'm sorry. The iPhone 11 in red.
All right, all right. I mean, that's
Yeah.
another good thing about iPhones, man. Like you could rock an iPhone 6S and you could still have the newest updates. So
Oh, for sure.
iPhone
For
11
sure.
is gonna be still pretty good, man. I mean, and I'm still right now I'm using the iPhone
I
10R,
got
and the
I
iPhone 11 is even better than this one.
Oh yeah. I got it for the night mode cameras. Like as soon as I saw that, dude, I was really really impressed. Um and I've always loved the portrait mode. Portrait mode is one of my favorites. Ever since the iPhone 10 came out,
I
I've
think in
always.
the beginning, a lot of people ended up liking that portrait mode. I think it started on the iPhone 7, if I'm not mistaken. For me, the big difference in the camera segment for the iPhones is when they introduced the ultra wide. I think that's
Mhm,
pretty much the big
mhm.
hot thing now for me. Even though there's like four cameras on phones nowadays, to me, I just care about the main camera and the ultra wide. Other than that, I think it's the macro and the depth. This is to me, it's not that necessary, but it's
Mhm.
crazy to have all these cameras on the back of a phone now.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Hmm.
So Solange says you have a nice room. By the way,
Oh,
one of the people. This is one of my best friends here. That's commenting, and one of the things that I like to tease her about is she had an iPhone. She had the iPhone 5C, and then
oh, that was an
decided that
awesome phone, man. That was the one with the colors. I really liked. I had one of those too. Those are awesome.
yo, bro. So and now she's an Android person. I'm trying to
Ooh.
get her back into the good world. So man, it's not working yet. It's not working.
Well, you know what? It's possible to have, you could rock an iPhone and an Android like when you're at home. When you're outside, it's a little bit difficult, but it is possible to enjoy both worlds. Like the only other iPhone, I mean, the only other Android phone that I have is it's a cheap Galaxy A10e, and it only has 2 gigs of RAM, and it still works
Hmm.
pretty good. I'm probably want to get a little bit upgraded model, with at least 3 gigs
Shoot.
of RAM. But other than that, I mean, it's possible to enjoy both worlds. But for the main device, it has to be the iPhone, no matter what. You gotta have I have
Oh
three
yeah.
iPhones right now that I use. I have the 10R, I have the iPhone SE 2020, which I got for $50 on prepaid Cricket, and then I have an old school first gen iPhone SE, and this still works pretty good. So yeah, it's like three iPhones and one Android, and I'm gonna get another Android soon.
Nice. So Solange says I still have my iPhone 5C in pink. I
Oh,
thought
it's a
that
hot
was like
color.
an orangey color.
Like a
But
tangerine-ish, yeah.
Yeah, tangerine color. But yeah, that was a pretty good phone. My mom had the that lime green one, and I
Oh yeah.
mean that was her first smartphone, thanks to me, by the way. But yeah, and she loved it. And then
It was basically an iPhone 5. It just had a plastic shell. They just wanted to cater to a younger crowd. That's when they tried to copy Nokia. When those Windows
yep,
phones were still alive, Nokia had those really colorful shell phones, and I liked them
yep,
actually, and that's where they got the idea from. But it was basically an iPhone 5.
dude. Honestly, listen, I always enjoyed the colored phones. I like, you know, um, now with the red one, I have a right now I don't because it broke. But I had the transparent cover on it just to see
Mhm.
the how like beautiful that red was, and it's just like wow, man. Honestly,
Do you use a case on your phone?
yes, I do. I
Is it like is it like a big old thick one, like very heavy duty, or is it
oh
expensive?
no
What?
no no. It's just it is kind of heavy duty. Hang on, I let me see if I can. This is gonna be really crappy for a second.
It's all right.
And now you know why I like to use my phone as a webcam, bro.
All right, yeah, it's not bad.
So,
For me, I always rock a case on a phone. I don't care if it's expensive as hell or if it's a cheapo phone. I always rock. My go-to case has always been just a cheap TPU gel skin, and I usually get it in a clear color. So like this is what I have on my SE, and I have like a little steel plate here, so I could stick it on a magnet, so I could like hang it on the wall or in the car when I'm driving. But yeah, I mean, I think having a case on your phone is a must. I mean, when you
oh
broke your
yeah.
phone, did it have a case?
No,
Did
I didn't break my phone. I broke
the case?
the casing.
Oh,
I didn't break
okay.
my phone. Thank God I didn't break my phone, dude. Don't
But
listen, man. Shoot,
the
shoot.
these phones, man, but they feel good when you don't have a case on them. Like, I mean, it feels really, really nice. But man,
Definitely.
but it's not. I don't think it's worth it to have it without a case because then you
No,
drop it and then that's it. You're
no.
done.
And that's exactly why I always say have the just if you want to see the color of it, just grab yourself a transparent case.
Oh
You
yeah, I
know.
mean, and it's $5, and it gives you grip, and I mean, protects it from scratches. And I've dropped it, and it still works. The other one, like the one that
Exactly.
you got, I wouldn't mind rocking those either. Except that I really don't drop them that much. This is mostly for scratches and stuff.
Yeah. No, me
Mhm.
either. The reason I got mine was because um I wanted something to um I wanted something that had the stand to come out and just put anywhere.
Mhm.
So like that's the only reason I got mine, you
Gotcha.
know.
Where'd you get it? You get it on
All right, so go on, have a good day.
uh
Um I got mine at the Apple store. The
okay.
case I got at Amazon.
Yeah, that's the go-to place to get the cases and even eBay too. I usually those are my two go-to places for accessories and stuff. Kind of drives me crazy when you go to a if you ever go to a carrier store or something or
Yeah,
prepaid they try to rock these $50, $30, $20 cases and they know that they're
bruh,
expensive. I mean that's how they make
bruh.
commission. But man, all I need is a little gel case, something to protect the scratches.
Definitely. So how many cases do you have lying around there?
Well, no, I don't have. You know what? Honestly, I don't have a lot of stuff like tech. I don't have
You
a
know?
lot of technology stuff. I just have the bare minimum. So I have three iPhones, one Android. I got um, I got an old school iPad. This is
Oh,
I think the iPad 2. It still works.
Oh
I
damn.
got, look at this one. Hold on. Uh, guess which one is this?
iPad Mini. The
First one.
wow. I was gonna say
It still
second.
works. I mean, the
I
software
was gonna say
and
second.
it's done. Like the software is done. It's super slow, but it still works for like I use it as a picture frame and stuff like
Oh wow.
that. This is this is the only Android phone that I have right now at the moment. It's the one that I actually use in some of the videos.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I it's just to have something different lying around.
Right.
And
How do you
then
record your videos? Do you use your phone or do you have a
I use
camera?
this. I use this. This
Oh
is
shoot.
the iPhone SE 2020. That's what I'm saying. Like even a cheap iPhone will do. The camera is just awesome on it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then this, when you saw me yesterday doing test live stream, I was using this Chromebook.
Oh wow.
I like Chromebooks just because it's so compact. And I have this
Yep.
old school this Mac. I don't know if with the glare you can see it, but this is
Ooh.
I got this one for $100. This is an old ass Mac.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, but other than that,
Where
I mean,
where'd you
I don't have
steal
a lot
that
of tech.
from?
I got it from OfferUp or Craigslist. I forgot. I
Damn.
Well, I did it just so I wanted like a big monitor and just to mess around with how an old school Mac worked. And it still works fine. It's just a little bit slow, but since it's a desktop, I like to move around a lot. Like
Yeah.
like you saw, like you've been seeing me right now. I'm walking all over the place. I liked being portable.
Right, right.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
like, how many
Dude.
devices do you got in total? Like, what are you rocking for a computer and stuff?
I got the MacBook Pro 2020 13-inch. I just got it this year because I had an HP computer and man, okay, this is my thing. I invited, I'm not sure if Nikki is still here, but I invited a lot of the bigger creators. By the way, I did not think that any of them were going to respond. Um,
Yeah, because when I saw
much
his
to,
name, I was like, he sounds real familiar. I'm like, oh, he used to have the Apple Watch channel, but then he changed it.
yeah. So so he was actually one of the first ones that I talked to when
Cool.
I became a YouTuber. And so I had the HP computer. By the way, like that computer was so old that it was like running so slow. And when I had those people on, man, those streams, like I don't even want to go back to that day. I really
Word.
don't. I'm not sure if you know Viper. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
I don't think so. There's so many creators out there. It's like it's
Yeah.
kind of.
So I had him, and that stream was horrible,
Did you
horrible.
use the what software did you use for that? Or like that's another thing that I
StreamYard,
don't get.
the
You just
StreamYard.
stream. I think this is pretty cool because I didn't have to download the software. It just popped up. You know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: you cannot, um, you cannot go live from a phone. You can accept live. So if I like now, I invited you, and if you were on your phone, you can accept it, but you cannot go live yourself. You have to go live through a computer, unless they change that. I'm not really sure.
Well, I tried
Um,
it. I tried it a while ago, and like for since I don't have a lot of subscribers, I think you have to go live on your phone. If you want to go live using the YouTube live button or whatever on
yep,
your phone, you have to have a certain number of subscribers. Now,
yeah, that's why
like
I always
yesterday
use
when I was testing
StreamYard.
out, if you could do it on a desktop browser, like if you're on a
Hmm.
computer, a regular laptop, you could do it. Doesn't matter how many subscribers you got. But
Right, right, right.
with this on if you use StreamYard, then you could use it off your phone. So like right now
Yep,
I'm doing it, and if I wanted to, I could start a stream and you could be invited, vice versa. So that's like the
yeah,
beauty of StreamYard is that you could use it without on your phone. I mean, to me, you're looking at me right now. It depends on your internet connection, but it's the quality's not bad, and the latency. I could hear you right away. There's not a lot of
latency.
buffering or anything like that.
Michael Pepper in the house. What's up,
There you
man?
go. See, there you go. What's up, Michael?
Yep,
Yeah, he knows. He knows. Like, and I found that pretty cool. I think StreamYard is awesome because it uses the browser. You don't have to ask somebody to download an
yep,
app You don't have to have Zoom. You don't have to have Meet or like. Oh, that's one thing. FaceTime. Apple dropped the ball on FaceTime. They let Zoom take over the world, especially in
Yep.
the last year.
Yep. Yep.
They
I agree.
and I wish they. And when Steve Jobs first announced the first was it the when he first announced FaceTime, he said it was going to be an open platform where anybody, like any company, could use it or whatever. So like you could be on Android, you could be on a Windows PC, but at the end it didn't happen. So that's one thing that why people stick to Apple is FaceTime.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I bet
Um.
you if FaceTime was allowed on Android, I mean the world, everybody's mind would just go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure. And that's what I say about Android. If they had a certain thing for like something like iMessage, something like FaceTime, I think it would be so much cooler and so much better. Um, I love
Well, you
FaceTime,
know what? I think it would be
especially
for the for
now.
for the for Pete for the customer. It would be perfect. Sorry to cut you off.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that for the customer and for the people, it would be awesome for them to use Android and iMessage and FaceTime all mixed up. But I think Apple's advantage is only having FaceTime and iMessage on Apple, so that way they could, that's their thing to keep people in the ecosystem.
Right, right, for sure. Um, Michael, do you have some time to come on and share your thoughts on the Oneplus? If you have any, I'm sure you do, man, because you always have thoughts. I'm not sure if you've ever watched Michael Pepper's channel or anything, man, but Michael Pepper, he's got it all in here. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Michael, I
I was
will
wondering if he
send
was gonna
you.
do. I wonder if it was gonna be. He could join this stream too, right? You can have multiple, more than two people on Streamyard.
Yep, yep. I'm gonna send him an invite right now.
Cool.
Shoot. Um. All right, man. I just sent you a message on Twitter with that link.
Good, good. I like Streamyard. It's awesome.
Oh, StreamYard's awesome, man. I mean, look at how many different layouts that you have. You can literally do this,
Oh, cool.
do
Yeah.
that. It's just
Do you
amazing.
have the
It really
free
is.
version or the paid version?
I have the free version right now.
Because it has like
I
a
have the
limit
free.
of streaming hours per month, right?
Yep, yep. Um, I wish I had the paid version because I would do so much more with my streams.
Mm-hmm.
Just decorating the thing. You wouldn't have. I'm not sure if on your end you can see it, but you wouldn't have the powered by StreamYard in the corner. You could add like your personal banners, different things, like that. And
Yeah,
if
I saw it has a little bit of options on there, but if you could do if you're able to afford it later down in the future, I'm sure it has more options. But right now, the free
oh
version
yeah,
is a-okay.
yeah, you can actually also um you know how some people do like the countdown. You can
Oh
how.
yeah.
So let me show you. Let me go to green. So right now, wait, this is not what I wanted. Give me 1 sec. Oh, right here. Brand. So StreamYard has this. So you can add your own thing. They also have an overlay. That's this one right here. Nobody uses this, I don't think. I definitely wouldn't. But they
I
they
mean,
just have some.
they have options on there, but to me, as long as a video like this is fine. If you don't have to get too crazy with it, but you
Oh
have
no,
that
for
option
sure.
there if you do like that.
Yeah, for
Here, look at
sure.
I'm gonna turn my iPhone 10R into a wide angle camera on the selfie. So I got this.
Oh, see? Yeah, see? All right, we got Michael Pepper. What's up, man?
Not a lot.
Oh, what's up,
How
Michael?
are you?
Good. How's it going,
Uh,
Max?
Oh, a cool T-shirt.
So, what's Michael Pepper been up to, man?
um, Not a lot. I mean, I dropped a short the other day and it's already got over 400 views on it in like 2 days, so that's good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you get a short like on the main YouTube channel when people like log in and stuff, or this is like from followers?
I am not sure. I just know that I uploaded it and like the first day it got like 40 views, and then all of a sudden it jumped from there to like almost 400 already.
Wow, that's
So
awesome.
I don't know
Is that the one about
if
T-Mobile?
yeah. So my guess is that people were searching because, especially with the OnePlus phones being announced, because of the whole. Because if you think about it, if you can go in and get a free line, and then they're going to be offering the new OnePlus phones for half off.
Yep.
So somebody can go get a OnePlus 9 for $365 and a free line, essentially just paying for the phone, and then they're paying like $15 a month or whatever it is. Actually, it's less than that. It's like 12 or 15,
Yeah.
depending on if you do the 24 or the 30 months. That's not a bad deal.
Oh, it's not at
Definitely.
all. I mean, it is kind of a hassle though because they never tell you all the details, and then you just think about free, and then boom, you're stuck in it, and there's fees and credits, and it's a big mess.
The problem for me is when I went to ask them about the free line was the whole like, oh, you already have 5 lines, so because there'd be a sixth line, we want you to pay $110 deposit. Oh, we'll give it back to you. We'll give you a credit on your account. It's like, yeah, but I have to pay $110 for you giving me $100 credit back. No, like if I don't have the money now, then I can't get the line that's supposed to be free. And then the other thing is they only allow you to have so much held in credit on your account. So when they do these deals where it's half off, you can't get that if you don't have enough available on your account.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
it's a big headache, man.
So
I've been on prepaid for a while, and you know, I wouldn't mind going back on postpaid. I'd probably pick T-Mobile or Verizon. I can't go with AT&T anymore just because of the fact that I like having unlimited hotspot. Even though it's slower on T-Mobile, it's limited speeds, but yeah, it's getting the deals on these phones is pretty enticing.
So, Michael, what was your thoughts on the OnePlus event? Did you watch it? Did you watch any videos?
I watched it after it was over because I kind of forgot that it was earlier in the morning. Because usually a lot of events, when they have them are like early afternoon our time because of them wanting to. But then I forgot that their main audience, they'd want it to be early in the morning here, so it'd be kind of mid to late evening, where their main audience being like China and India and that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to try to also have it line up with our time zones fairly well, because that's like people getting to work in the morning in California.
Right.
11
Right.
o'clock our time is 8 o'clock their time. So, um, I thought it was confusing because they do all this great stuff and they're talking about like how great all the updates are and how, the OnePlus 9 Pro, it has LTPO and so it can refresh from 1 to 120 hertz. And this is great because when we have the always on display, it only has to refresh every 1 second, and we can do a second hand, and it doesn't use and all this stuff they talk about. And then they go and they say, and the OnePlus 9 has all the same stuff, except for we're going to charge you $340 less, and it has one less. And although what they didn't tell you that I didn't No, unless you go to their website or you watch some other people's videos and you find some. It doesn't have all the same cameras. It actually has one less camera on it.
Yeah, that's the difference right there. Like, so this is the Pro. If anyone can see that, it has that one extra camera.
Well,
That's the only thing.
And the regular one is 1080p instead of 144, and it doesn't have the variable refresh rate, the LTPO, like the Pro does. I mean, it will lower down, I think, to 30 or 60, but not quite as low as the. And there's some other things like you don't get the fast wireless charging.
You don't. I think you get the. It still has fast wireless charging, but it's not that crazy fast that they were talking about. Like,
It's only 15 watts in the US and China, I think it is. They did some really weird stuff. I was watching a video. I think it was, is it Ben's Gadgets, the guy that's based in, that always does all the reviews. He did like on the Huawei Mate X2, and he's based in China, I'm pretty, and he was talking about that. And then I think it was, who else? Chris. He's the guy that's from Australia. Mm-hmm. Anyways, he was talking about it. That they did some weird things with, like, the US gets wireless charging but some countries don't on the regular 9, but the 9 Pro is the same everywhere, and it was to keep costs down in those countries.
That's what sucks, is that the US always gets some weird version of the international. Sometimes it's gimped version where it's like some version, some feature, but at the end of the day, man, that OnePlus 9 doesn't sacrifice too much from the Pro. You're saving $300. You could basically get a OnePlus 9, and then you got the $300 extra. You could buy one of those budget OnePlus Nord N10s 5G. So yeah, that OnePlus Pro is too much, too rich for my blood.
Yeah, I was actually looking on their site when I was watching the live stream here, and it's interesting too because, like, I can get the regular OnePlus 9, the white version of the OnePlus Buds, and then they have like they have all those packs where, like, you can get an extra charger, or like you can get just a case, or you can get like an extra charger and an extra pair of earbuds for like better. They have all those add-on stuff. But what I was looking at is I could get the OnePlus 9, the earbuds, the sandstone case, taxes and shipping and everything, and it's under $800 because they throw the buds for free, and then the case is like $50. Which my thing is, I could order one from Amazon, but I don't know. Like, usually the deal is the selection that they have is very limited when a device first comes out. And then the other thing is, if you order it from OnePlus, it comes with it. And then if you change your mind and you want to cancel your order, you only have to cancel at one location. You don't have to worry about Amazon already shipped it out.
Yeah.
But what gets me is their trade-in deals are awful.
Oh yeah, they don't they're the opposite of Samsung. Samsung gives you like pretty much a free phone almost. OnePlus, nah.
I went and looked at like what they would give you for the Google Pixel 5, and they want to give you like $350 for that.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's like, I'll go sell it myself for $600 or whatever.
Exactly. Shoot. Michael, what'd you think of the watch?
Okay, so I have two thoughts on the watch. One, it's great that it's not limited to just OnePlus devices, because we've seen that happen before. Samsung did that with some of their early on watches, where like you couldn't really use it with other smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work with iOS yet, but apparently they're waiting for Apple to approve the app.
Oh, okay.
So, and they should. It's not like there's anything in there that's any different than like any other. It runs its own OS, so as far as battery life, that's great. But that's also a downside because you can't install any third-party apps or watch faces unless they're added into like the OnePlus's like their store or whatever. So then, if you're using it with an iPhone, you're not going to be able to do that at all because there's no way to. Well, I guess there is. Technically, they could do it as like an online thing,
Right.
where like I can technically search the Play Store on like my iPhone, and it will show a list of your Android devices that you have, and you can click install, and it will pop up on your Android device and actually install. So technically, they could do that as like a workaround with the watch, as long as it's online. You can search through like the store online, and then click to download, and it would just download on the. But nobody thinks of that. Nobody does that, and that's the one issue I have because I have the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS that they sent me for review. And the problem I have is to install apps, yeah, you have huge selection. You can install any app basically that's available on the Play Store, but you're navigating that on a tiny screen on a watch. There's no phone interface. Where Apple's advantage is, yeah, you can install apps that run just on the watch. They don't have to have a buddy version of it that runs on the phone as well. But you can navigate all those on your phone. So you can look at the reviews, you can look at the photos, it can have video that's showing how they work. You're going back and forth. It's much faster, it's smoother. Your phone, you can browse through that faster than the watch will. And you click and install, then you can go out, find another one, click to install. You don't have to worry about waiting for it to install, where sometimes on the watches you got to wait for it because if you leave, it will stop installing.
Do you think that OnePlus is going to keep this watch updated? That's what I'm kind of interested in. If they're going to like update this watch just as much as they update their phones.
I think because it's running a version similar to some of these other companies. I can't think of what it's called. It's like BTOS or something like that. It's a third party like skinned version, and they did that, and that's smart that they did that because there's other watches running that. So essentially any of the stuff that's already ready on those other watches, OnePlus should be able to make available on theirs, except for OnePlus puts a slightly different skin, but that doesn't really affect what you can install. That's just like the UI. But as far as installing watch faces and apps and stuff, and OnePlus is usually pretty good. Yeah, the older their devices get, usually it's a little bit longer before they get the updates. Like, if you're looking at like a OnePlus 6T, it's not going to get the updates as fast as the 7 and then the 7T and then the 8. And, obviously now the 9 and the 9 Pro would get stuff first, and then the 8T and then the 8 Pro and then the 8, or the 8 Pro and the 8, and then the 7T and then the 7 and then the 6T, on its way back. But usually it's not like, a year difference. It's months difference because the developers just have to be there.
I'm seeing here on the OnePlus website, so they did mention that you could store music on this watch. That's a common feature on a lot of Android Wear, Google Wear devices. But let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys still like have MP3s, like physical music on your devices, or you guys download everything with streaming like Spotify, Apple Music and stuff?
I use Spotify.
So my thing with that is, I wonder if that means that like if you have like Spotify Premium or like some of the premium services where you can download music, if that means that you will be able to download it onto those as well.
They didn't mention anything specific about Spotify, but if it had that feature, I'd buy this phone in a heartbeat because I don't have any physical MP3s anymore. So it's like that would compete with Apple if you could actually have offline Spotify playlist or something like that. But but you know what? Another thing is that OnePlus, like they don't really want to have partnerships. They don't want to pay for the licensing fees to have, like, for
Nope.
example, the IP rating. They don't. I think on the OnePlus 9, they didn't want to pay for the IP 68 rating or whatever it is. They want to not say that it's there, but it's there. They just don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, they started doing that. I think it was last year with the OnePlus 8. They finally started paying for it. But so here's what I wanted to talk about a little bit. And I thought about doing a video on it as well. But people complain about OnePlus prices going up. But here's what they don't know: when OnePlus was in its early days, the reason their prices were down so much is because essentially they went to Samsung, and as far as like displays and and storage and all that, and they went to Qualcomm as far as processors, and they went to Sony as far as the cameras, and they said to these companies, we'll take your lot that has a higher failure rate. So where other companies want like 1 out of 100,000 that could possibly fail, they'll say we'll take like 1 out of 1,000. So that means they have to go through and sort through those. They have to go through and and find the ones that are going to fail. But they get a better deal that way. So instead of paying a higher price for a lower failure rate, they pay a lower price for a potentially higher failure rate. And
Are you
that's
talking
why they
about
were able
parts?
to,
Like the
yeah.
parts that they use are just cheaper because they fail
So
more?
so because the potential to fail. So
Oh, okay.
then OnePlus puts them all together and tests and make sure that there's no issues. So that's why they were able to make a phone with basically all the same parts as like what Samsung was making, but for and sell the thing for $300 because they could get all the parts for $200, where Samsung, it cost them it cost other companies $400 for the parts from Samsung because they wanted a lower risk of failure rate and didn't want to have to sort through all of them. So OnePlus says we'll take them for cheaper and we'll just sort through all of them.
Damn,
Now,
Michael, you're like an investigator. This is like
what's
behind the
become the
scenes of OnePlus.
what's become the problem though is
Michael was like the
as OLED screens are manufactured, and as they've perfected the technology, they've actually been able to get more of a varying size screens out of the total like sheet that's cut out of, without as much throwaway, which means that Samsung is starting to charge more for that. Processors aren't really having the failure rates, so they're not. OnePlus isn't able to get those. And then the same thing with storage and memory. So it's costing OnePlus more than it used to
Is that a house
to
phone? I haven't heard those in a while.
manufacture
I'm
it.
not proud of it.
So if you think about it, most of the time these smartphones cost like the phone I'm using to stream right now, I'm using my 12 Pro Max, and that costs Apple, I think the model I have costs them about $450 to manufacture, and you pay about 3 times that. But what people don't get is Apple has investment in the stores, the people that work there, the people that you get access to. Like if you have an issue with your device or you need to learn about it, you can just walk in and get access to stuff that's included. Some of the stuff that's included without Apple Care, and that's added costs. And then they have to have profits for research and development for the next models. And if you want anything to improve, they can't sell at a low profit. And that doesn't include all the tooling and manufacturing whenever they change that stuff. So, but the same with OnePlus is it's cost them more and more. And what's funny is OnePlus has continued to do this year over year, and they're actually offering better display technology than Samsung themselves, even though they get the displays from Samsung. Like Samsung, the S21 Ultra has variable refresh, but it goes from 10 hertz, and then it's like every 10 hertz up to 120. where OnePlus says we'll do 1 hertz at every 1 hertz, so 120 different refresh rates. And so depending on what you're doing, and so if you want the always on display on, that means it's only having to refresh every second as the time changes, where like the S21 Ultra is doing it can only do it every 10, so they can't even have the second hand.
Do you think that the OnePlus 9 Pro is a very good competitor to the S21 Ultra? Looking at the pricing and looking at all the features together, because I think it's a difference of $200 that you're paying.
I think if you consider retail pricing, because we can't really consider the fact that, you know, the S21 series has been out and the price dropped, and then Samsung went and said we'll drop the price because people are selling it for less and all that. If you consider initial retail price, I think it's kind of between the S21 Plus and the S21 Ultra, because it doesn't have like the crazy zoom, but it has the better display than the S21 Plus as far as like screen resolution, and it has higher refresh rate, because if I remember correctly, the S21 Plus only goes down to 40 hertz or something like that at the low end, where the Ultra is down to the 10, and then the OnePlus 9 Pro goes all the way down to 1. And then also as far as screen brightness and stuff, that's the other thing that's a little bit different, is the brightness between the 9 and the 9 Pro. But I still feel like the 9 is really the phone that they want people to buy, and the Pro is like, if you're going to tinker, if you're a photographer, if you're a videographer that wants some of those added benefits, if you're someone who like understands the whole LTPO thing, and maybe you'd benefit from battery life on that. But what's funny is, so far all the tests I've seen, they said the regular 9 is getting better battery life, but that could also be due to all of them were testing this weeks before it's launched. And we know how these companies work on software down to the last minute. So
I mean, that the OnePlus 9, it has all the specs of the Pro, except it just doesn't have like the camera features for the most part. I know it has like the Pro has a better screen, but I think for most people, I mean, like performance wise, it has the same processor. It's just, and it's $300 cheaper. I mean, it's wild.
So that's the difference, you know. I think if they would have priced it like, if they would have gone and said, if they would have priced it at like $919, so they would have priced it $150 lower.
Under 1,000, because once I saw the over 1,000, in my mind, I'm like, that's expensive. But you keep it under that, $999 type thing, it would have that in your head that this is like, it's a deal compared to the price of the Pro, of the Ultra.
Well, I didn't even think about it like that as much as the price difference between the 9 and the 9 Pro. For Pete's sake, it's 45% price hike. $729 to $1,069 is about 45% price hike. So you can buy a whole other phone. Like literally the price difference, spend $9 plus tax more and you can go buy a Pixel 4a.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Literally. So, I could spend $9.54, buy a Pixel 4a and buy the OnePlus 9 for the same price as the OnePlus 9 Pro. And that's just the base, but the other thing is that is interesting is that depends on the country, because other countries, they have the price difference is actually, and I think this is why it seems so weird in the US, because they have the bumped up models where you get like the 256 gig storage on the 9, and then they also have the lowered price model for $969 for the 9 Pro, where we don't get those. We get like the lower end of the 9 and the upper end of the 9 Pro. So then when you look at it like that, and the fact that there's a model that's like $100 more expensive of the 9 and $100 cheaper of the 9 Pro, essentially that puts like $100 price difference between the upper end of the 9 model and the lower end of the 9 Pro model. So that's where I think why it's like that. But then if they're not going to off it, like, because I think it would look bad if they went and said, well, we're going to just make it $150 price difference because we're only offering these 2 models in the US. And then people in other countries will go, but you're offering, 2 different capacities and 2 different models in other countries with these, and the price is that much difference. You know what I mean? Like $729 and $1069 here, where they have $729 and $829, and then $969 and $1069 for the Pro models because of different storage options in some countries. So if they bumped the 9 Pro down, then essentially we'd be getting the 9 Pro at the same price as people would be paying for the 9 in other countries.
It's crazy for me to think that the regular one, the OnePlus 9, is the same price as an iPhone Mini, because they're like around $700. So it's like, but you're getting like almost a Pro version in the OnePlus 9, while you're getting the cheapest of the cheapest on the brand new iPhone. So that right there kind of does show for me that the OnePlus 9 is just, man, that's the better deal out of the 2 models.
What I think is great is that you still get the 65-watt fast charging in the box with both of them.
Yeah.
And you still get the main cameras are still the good cameras and stuff.
Well, they're both branded as with the Hasselblad stuff, so it's like even both of them get the same type of optics.
So yeah, I was on their site, and man, that blue color is beautiful.
They did describe some crazy colors,
yeah. They did pretty good with the colors. I myself was impressed with how beautiful those colors were.
What gets me is if you look at their site, they're selling the OnePlus 8 Pro, and you can spend $30 more and get the OnePlus 9.
Damn.
But I think most people would look at the Pro and go, "Oh, the Pro to Pro, it's $300 and almost $400. It's basically $400 price difference almost," and go, "Oh, we'll just go with the 8 Pro." Not realizing that actually the 8 Pro from last year and the 9 from this year are more in line with each other.
Right.
No, it's definitely. I don't see a big difference between the 8. If you have the 8 Pro, I don't see the big difference in upgrading if you wanted to get the 9 Pro. Just if you could get the 8 Pro like super cheap, like on a swapper or something like that for like $500, and even on the OnePlus website, it's heavily discounted now. But
yeah,
I guess it doesn't have all the spiffy new stuff that they were talking about, in that video with the Hasselblad and all that stuff.
Dude,
and then you have the 8T that's in there, and that gets things confusing because that is actually this threw me off. So the 8 Pro had the better cameras and some of the other stuff like that, but the 8T got the fast charging. Yes. So then this year, the 9 is kind of like a blend between the 8 Pro and the 8T. Like good cameras, fast charging. Because you can get the 8T on OnePlus's site. I'm looking at it right now. It's $599.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different OnePlus phones that are on the website right now, and that's not even including those 2 budget devices. So OnePlus has like a lot of different phones. It's kind of confusing for like if someone didn't know about OnePlus and didn't know about the new announcement, they would go on the website and they have all these different numbers with the T's and the Pros. And I mean, they all look good on paper. So it's like, man, they got a stable of devices at all different price points. It makes that OnePlus Pro like really expensive, man.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, it's kind of it's like if Apple said we're gonna sell the iPhone 12 and we're gonna sell the iPhone 12 Pro Max, like the price difference in there, and we're not selling the 12 Pro in the United States. We'll sell that, in some other country that, you know, they want a Pro model, but they don't like the large device. And, you know, we're leaving the 12 for the US, but not doing the 12 Pro because people are just going to go to the Pro Max, you know, for the price difference. And we want more of a separation. That would be like basically what it's like.
Well, that's another positive about Apple is that they sell the same phone everywhere, the same type of model, except China. China gets the dual SIM, physical dual SIM. They don't have the eSIM in there. But other than that, every iPhone that's sold is like the same phone sold here in the US. It's the same one found in India, same one in Europe. It's very
Yeah, they don't.
consistent. So it's another thing about the OnePlus is that the 5G is kind of weird here in the US. I think it's not being supported. I think you mentioned it, Michael, maybe that it was probably not going to be fully supported by Verizon or T-Mobile or something like that here in the US.
Yeah, they're what did I see? Oh, it's not gonna that there's no information on them selling at Verizon and AT&T right now.
I think it was T-Mobile that's going to sell it, like for sure. I forgot
Yeah,
what tweet
yeah.
it was, but
I
Verizon
already
is not going to sell it. Like T-Mobile's like they have the OnePlus reserved if you want it from a carrier,
they
if you're not
already
a
have
prepaid.
there well I know because I've watched a couple live streams and I've talked to a couple people, but and they're gonna have both models this year. They're having the 9 and the 9 Pro. And
Oh,
actually
I could see that. Yeah.
they have a press release, I think it is too, that you can find. Like if you Google OnePlus 9 and you look for the T-Mobile thing, you'll click on it and it brings you to like their press section of their site that tells you that they're going to have a deal on it. But then when you go to their main page, none of them show up yet. See, that's the weird thing. Like carriers and like Best Buy and like different places, they don't show up. They show up on OnePlus's site first, and then when on like Friday when they're actually available, then the carriers will have the deals, and you'll see Best Buy have the deals and stuff. But what kind of sucks about that is then usually the pre-order deal with OnePlus is over. So you can't like really compare because now they're not both going on at the same time. So you gotta have to hope that like a carrier has a better deal or something.
Man,
Yeah.
you do get good deals when you go through the carriers and stuff. To me personally, it's like, but man, you kind of stuck in there because you still got to do like the credits and stuff. Unless you plan on sticking with that carrier for a very long time, I would always lean towards getting the unlocked model. Plus, it's easier to sell too once you want to get some money back on it. And then with the phones coming out every year, it's it's kind of enticing, and then you're kind of stuck there, but like where you got to pay taxes on it and stuff and the fees and pray that T-Mobile doesn't mess up the whole order or the credits and stuff.
One thing I
Definitely.
thought was interesting that I don't know that they didn't talk about, but I caught if you looked at the specs online, that was interesting with the 9 Pro. That could be an advantage to some people was it actually supports 30-watt USB PD regular charging, and this is the first OnePlus that they've done where you can, as long as the charger supports that. You know, in the past you have to use their proprietary charger to get anything faster than like 7.5 or 10 watts or whatever.
So if you bought a OnePlus phone in the past, let's say you bought it used somewhere and they gave you like a generic USB-C cable, you can't get any type of fast charging unless it was a OnePlus original charger.
Yeah, it'd be like the dash charger with like the 6 series, and then they went to the warp charger when they went to like the 30T, then it was called the warp. And now they have like the warp plus, I think is what they're calling it.
The T, it's confusing. Hey guys, well I gotta go, man, but I'll catch you guys later on. All right.
All right, man. Hey, good talking to you,
Thanks
man.
for having me on. Take care, guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah.
So that's kind of my thoughts. It's like depends on what you need. But my thing is price to me. Like I get people talk about it, but it's like if you have the money and that's what you need, then pay the price. If you don't have the money, then look for something that suits you for the budget you have. And
Right.
if you do have the money, but that's not what you need, then don't buy it. Like there's options within the company itself. By them selling older of the line, they're kind of following in Apple's like manner by doing that in a way where they're still selling, you know, the previous year and 2-year-old devices.
Right, right.
What gets me is they stopped. I mean, they still. That's the other thing. They still include the charger, and the charging block in the box. So there's like $50 you're saving.
Oh yeah, I know.
But what gets me is they no longer include a case. They used to always include like a clear case, or I think it was the 6 and the 6T had like the what's it called? The like Pitaka makes their cases, you know, the the fishbone pattern, you know, what's it called? The oh my gosh. Like the gray what's it called? If I go to their site and I go here and here. Come on, just give me past the information so I can go to the buy now and look at the accessories. The carbon fiber, they used to always either include that or a clear case, and now they don't include anything. They sell it to you as like an add-on. So I think that's where people get frustrated too. It's like their prices have gone up, but then they want to charge you $50 or $100 or $130 depending on like the add-on packages to add on like a, you know, $50 for a case, and like
Yeah.
$80 or $90 to have the case, the extra charger and cable, and then there's like $120 option to have like case, extra power block, cable, and like the buds.
Right,
Now my
right.
thing is, I'd probably do that. I would do that and then just turn around and sell the buds for like $50 or something.
Yeah, that's true.
But and then you have an extra charger and a case that you didn't. That's a little bit better deal. But then again, if you don't sell them, then it's better just at least they offer like the different tiered add-on packages like that. Right when you check out, and you save a little bit by packaging things together. So
Definitely.
I don't know, it's confusing. I felt like their pitch was like coming out, yeah, we have this great, awesome phone. It's the OnePlus 9 Pro. Oh, and by the way, the OnePlus 9 is basically the same thing, but cheaper. Have a nice day. Like, it was like they didn't really tell us enough what distinguished the difference. They were too focused on the Hasselblad, and that was included in both, and the fast charging that's included in both. And they did kind of tell us that, you know, only the Pro has the 50-watt wireless charging and all that, but
no, I know. You know, like I said, I think that it's a decent phone, you know, and like even Max said earlier, prices are a little wonky, but you know, it is what it is.
Regular 9, because I feel like everybody's buying the 9 Pro, and compare like the cameras to like my 12 Pro Max and be like, this is why, and you know, show people that maybe you don't need, like, compare the high end of Apple to like the not highest end of OnePlus and see how it goes, and be like, and this is why you don't need to spend, you know, almost twice the price.
Yeah, that'd be actually pretty good to see.
So I think I'm gonna talk to my wife and sell my Pixel 5. And
are you not using that one anymore?
Nope.
Wow. I thought you liked that one. I thought you were that was a keeper for you.
See, I thought about keeping it because of like some of the video functions they had, but I didn't realize with the last update they did, they removed those, like the video pan and stuff.
Oh,
so
really?
It's no longer there. I went to try to shoot a video, and like I was gonna do where they have like their cool pan mode and stuff, and it's gone. So they've removed some functions in one of the updates, and I didn't realize that. So it's like,
Damn. No, I know.
and to have a device that's just going to go down in value the longer I hold on to it, especially with like the new Pixel possibly coming out soon. I'd rather give somebody a good deal on it, but still get a good enough amount on it. And if I can get like $550, if I can get like $600 shipped out of it, that wouldn't be bad. And then I could, and basically, you know, that would be good.
Not at all, man.
Yo, I'm two phones I was even looking at getting. The only phone I was even looking at getting all this year was the new OnePlus phone. Depending on how things looked and if it was enough of an improvement in the price difference and how much they sold like the previous gen for, was either getting the new one or a previous gen if the difference wasn't enough.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe an iPhone, but then with the whole thing situation, which I'll tell my story on that eventually, going from getting the 12 mini and then giving that to my wife and getting the Pro Max, I'll just hold on to it. I don't see them doing enough with the 13 to make a difference anymore.
Right. That's true too.
I mean, who knows? They could come in and do something like they did with the HDR for the photo and come in and do some crazy like nighttime video thing and just blow people's minds. But it's the low light performance with video is still pretty good. So I'll probably, depending on, I gotta see here, I might end up with the 9. Especially with some of the deals they have or will have.
That's true, man. Yo, but I'm gonna get going. Great to have you on as usual. We gotta plan another time for you to come back. And same to you, Max. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate you, man, taking the time to come on and talk to us about your thoughts on the OnePlus event and the devices that were released. If you guys want to check them out, I'll have their channels down in the description. I can't add them while I'm live, but I will add it right afterwards. So make sure you guys check them both out. And we'll catch you guys in the next live stream. See you guys later.